right, well, we're here with Ty. Is it Mars or Mares?
So it's actually Mares.
Mares.
Spanish, but no one says that. So
Okay.
Mares is usually what I go
Mares. Okay, cool. All right, nice. So thank you very much for being on the podcast. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. All right, so you're probably not going to remember this, but we didn't meet, we didn't talk, but I first saw you at, what was it called? Salty's Beach Bar and Grill.
Okay.
There was an open mic that Johnny Comfort had run.
I remember that.
And you were the featured artist. It
Yes.
was your trio band.
Yes.
Right?
I do remember.
And then and you guys blew the stage up. It was amazing. I remember you guys did like a note for note rendition of, I think, Good Love's on the Way from John Mayer.
Yeah.
And I was and I'm a huge John Mayer fan. Like he's one of my favorite. And I was just like, "Oh my God." And then I had to follow you.
That's the fun of the open mic, isn't it? Yeah.
So here I am. I go up, and it's just me and my acoustic guitar. I'm a solo acoustic cover guy, and I get up there, and I'm like scared to death because it was kind of maybe within the first 6 months of me doing open mics.
Okay.
So I was real shaky and nervous, and I just sucked all the energy right out of the room.
That's the hardest thing about open mics, especially when they do because I didn't really do that until I came to Jersey, but when they have the full band stuff, it's like, even if the band sucks, like the dynamic of more people on stage, and they're like, here's a guy with a guitar, and that's where you're like, I'm either going to do really, really well or really, really bad. People are like, I'm going to go smoke outside.
Right, exactly. Like everybody was digging what you were doing, and I think there might have been some people on the dance floor and stuff, and then I get up there and it was like Moses parting the Dead Sea. Or
I can say I have been that guy. I've definitely been that guy.
Nice.
Where the band jams and they're like, and here's Ty. Sweet. Thanks, man. Thanks.
Nice. Oh, man. All right. So I think you're in a couple of different projects, right? You do like a solo thing, and then you're in a band called Cosmic Jerry. Is that right?
Cosmic Jerry Band, yeah.
Okay. Tell me about that and how that formed and all that stuff.
So they had been a band for a little while. It's kind of crazy that John Mayer connections in a lot of my the stuff that I've been doing. So I think when John Mayer got him at the Dead, I didn't quite get it. Mm-hmm. And I'd listened to a couple things because, John Mayer gets into, that was my guitar hero. So I'm like, when he got into something, I want to give it a shot.
Right.
And I went to Apple Music or whatever. And I'm like, I don't understand this. I was like,
I'm kind of the same way. I've never been a huge Dead fan.
Right.
So
and I didn't know who the Grateful. I was raised in the church. I didn't know anything about anything. So the name Grateful Dead meant nothing to me.
Okay.
So I listened and didn't get it. And then a couple years later, a girl that I was dating, her parents were Deadheads, and they were like, "You have to come see Dead and Company. Like, you love John Mayer, you'll love it."
Yep.
I walk in and I think they're playing Brown Eyed Women, and I'm like, oh, I get it now. So then I started getting, and the girl that I'm dating now, she's a huge Deadhead, so she started just throwing songs at me, learn this.
Yep.
And so this band, I guess they found videos of me online. They were like, "Hey, we're looking for a front man.
Okay.
Do you want to try jamming with us?"
Yep.
I was like, "Sure." I'm warning you, I don't know a lot of Dead.
Right. And they're a tribute band, right? Cosmic Jerry.
They're kind of, I think the cool thing about jam is that it's not limited to the artist. I compare it more to like jazz, right?
Oh, okay.
If you're playing traditional jazz, you're covering music, but it's so many different ways of it being done. Mm-hmm. So we do Allman Brothers and Fish and all that stuff, and whatever we want to, basically. Okay. Yep. If it was set as a direct tribute, I don't think I could do it.
Oh, okay. I got you.
But they were like, "You want to be our front man?" I remember playing that first show. I was like, "Guys, I don't know a lot of Dead, but I'll try." Mm. I instantly knew I loved it, but instantly knew I had a lot of work to do.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And we've been together about 3 years now, and I'm just now to the point where I'm on stage and I'm not terrified.
Nice.
And it's not terrified. I'm not nervous. It's more just like, do I know this song well enough that I'm not going to fall?
Okay. Yeah.
But we've been 3 years, and I went from knowing 3 Dead songs to probably over 300.
Wow.
It's insanity.
That's awesome. That's great. So I mean, you said you've seen Dead and Company with John Mayer. Yes. How many times? Just the once, or?
I think I saw them 3 times.
Okay.
We were supposed to do the Mexico thing, and then that was the year that it got canceled.
Oh,
which it worked out perfectly because my girlfriend caught COVID. We ended up in New Orleans.
Okay.
And then the minute we landed in New Orleans, they canceled the whole thing. Sweet, we didn't miss anything. Got our money back.
Nice.
But
you haven't been to the Sphere yet, have you?
I haven't.
No, me neither.
I just can't justify the 3 days off.
Yeah,
people don't realize in this job that it's not only am I losing the money that I'm spending, but I'm losing the money that I'm not making.
Right, exactly. Yep.
And I like them, but it's
I always put it like I have. I don't think I gig out as much as you. You look like you've got a pretty busy calendar.
Yeah.
I do I pack every other weekend. I'm a single dad, so I've got my kids every other weekend, and on the weekends I don't have my kids, I've got 3 or 4 gigs booked, and then occasionally some during the week. But I keep telling my friends, like, yeah, like I go to bars every other weekend, every day, but I don't spend the money. I make money, you know, and when you do the math, that's a pretty big swing.
Oh yeah,
you know?
yeah. And it's funny when people, because like I think about, you know, just being in bars, because I got here, I think when I was 19, and all the bars were like, can I get you a drink? Can I get you a drink? I'm like, 2 years. I'm not going to get in trouble over being underage. But then like, when you go out to like New York or whatever, and you're hanging with friends, and you're like, the tab is what?
Yeah,
because you don't think about it. Because most of the time, you're not really worried about that.
Yeah, you don't really pay for drinks. Like I don't pay for drinks. I haven't paid for a meal at a bar in a long time. So
I've started using that as because I can't meal plan or whatever. My life is so inconsistent in that regard. Yep. So now I'm like, I have breakfast. I go to the studio, I eat dinner at the club like an hour before, and then I play the show.
Nice,
you know, it's like literally like a counted dinner. That's what's happening most of the time. So
that's cool. I'm that guy that usually gets stuff to go after a show. You know,
I'm not a big to go guy.
No,
because I don't want to eat it later. And if I'm eating it, and especially right now, I'm trying to get off of that because it's like you get home, it's like 11:30, and you're like, I'm gonna eat this and immediately regret it.
You're eating wings, and then you're going to bed.
Yeah,
it's not very healthy.
It's not fun. No. But you know,
that's cool. So what's your? All right, so that's the Cosmic Jerry Band.
That's Cosmic Jerry Band.
And you guys play all over Jersey, I guess, right?
Yeah. We're getting around quite a bit. The cool thing about the jam scene is it's very open arms.
Okay,
that's the thing I think I've learned is like I feel like I came from like the blues thing, where you got a lot of old guys that are like, well, this is the blues, and if you're not playing this, then it's not the blues. We don't care. And I'm like, well, then your genre is going to die with you because you're not letting it evolve. That's part of music. It's going to evolve. Yep. Where the dead community or the jam community, they're like, what's this new thing? Oh, I want to be a part of this.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I have a lot of fans of my stuff now that my music's nothing like the Grateful Dead, but they're like, we just like good music. You know, and
that's
so
cool.
We've kind of gotten around, and then that's helped kind of propel me because now my name is known in that scene.
Okay.
And it's a very, very beautiful, like we can go pretty much anywhere, and if the name Grateful Dead is tied to it, people come out.
Yeah,
it's
that's
crazy.
Awesome.
I've never seen anything like it before in my life.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I have an appreciation for like the jam band type stuff, you know, Fish, Grateful Dead, even Dave Matthews, you know, and I even though I don't kind of live that lifestyle.
Same.
But I've been to a couple of Dave Matthews bands.
Love Dave.
You know,
I've seen him this year. Yeah, he's fantastic.
I've seen a couple of shows, and then like he'll play a song that I know, and then all of a sudden just kind of go off, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on? It's awesome. I love it.
It's an interesting dynamic for me and people that I talk to that aren't, because I have fans of mine that are like, Ty, we love you, but we're not going to see Cosmic Jerry. And I'm like, that's fine. Like it's a very different world. I understand.
Yeah.
But I think that the things that anger most people about the Grateful Dead also anger me.
Okay.
I think I compare the music of the Grateful Dead to Scotch. I don't know if you're
okay.
a Scotch drinker.
I went through a time period where I was learning about it. Yeah.
Every person that drinks Scotch has one Scotch that they were like, oh,
yeah,
okay. And then you can drink any Scotch.
Yep.
You might not like it, but you understand what they were trying to do.
For me, that's the Glenlivet 18.
Glenlivet 18. For me, it was the Johnny Walker White Walker something. I don't know. I like the bottle. And I was like, okay, now I get it. So Grateful Dead, it's the same thing. Every single Deadhead has a song that they were like, oh, now I understand. So then, no matter how bad the recording, no matter how horrible Jerry's voice was, you can at least listen and go, I'm not going to listen to that again, but I know what he was going for. And I think that's where that world kind of opens up, and you're like, this guy's a genius. It's kind of like Jimi Hendrix was like that too, where like you could kind of hear, you're like, he's trying to do this.
Yep.
Not quite sober enough to figure it out, but it's there, you know, and that's why someone like Stevie Ray would be like, well, I would be nothing without Jimi Hendrix. Because he found it. I just, dusted it off and made it pretty.
Yep. And then Stevie Ray Vaughan leads to John Mayer. So, yeah.
It
all comes back to John Mayer, Todd.
It all comes back to John Mayer. I get so much crap for that. I've been getting crap for that since I was 12 years old.
Really?
Man. 12 years old.
It's funny. My girlfriend and I, like, we'll have conversations about random music stuff. And John Mayer always enters the conversation in some form or another. And she's like, are you talking about him again?
He is definitely an embodiment of a generation's worth of musical discovery. Like, I think that where music has kind of broken into, like, there's the intellectual musician and then there's the guy just trying to make money or go viral or whatever.
Yep.
And there is a way to marry it, but it's like, I think that those musicians, he is this, like, center point of, I want pop music, I want it to be interesting to everybody, but I also want it to be fun to play and have a depth to it.
Yep.
I think Dave Matthews is also like that, but he's a little more in the intellectual side.
Yeah, agreed.
Where, like, I mean, him as a guitar player alone, he's one of the hardest guitar players I think I've ever had to emulate because it's almost like no one showed him how to play guitar and he just kind of figured it out.
Really?
So like if you watch John Mayer, you're like, okay, this is pentatonic scale.
Yeah.
He's kind of sitting in the, whatever. If you watch Jerry Garcia, he's kind of a chicken picking, open chord kind of guy.
Yep.
If you watch some of these forms that he's playing, they make no sense.
You're talking about Dave Matthews?
Dave Matthews.
Yeah.
You're like,
I can't sing and play any of his songs.
I just learned the Stone. Have you ever heard the Stone?
Probably, but
Holy
I don't remember.
crap.
Okay.
Like, it makes no logical sense as a guitar player. And so you just have to sit there and go, I'm just going to adapt. And now I had a little more coming from the fact that I played a lot of Dave.
Yeah.
But I still was like, it's like he was just like, what is this instrument with 6 strings? And then just comes up with this ridiculous lick.
Yeah.
And then starts singing a melody that has nothing to do with the lick.
Right. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I can't sing and play any of his stuff. There's a couple of songs like I forget the name. Gray Street, I think.
Gray Street, love that song.
I love that. It's one of my favorite songs, and I want to play it live. I just can't do, not yet. It'll get there in 20 years probably, but I just can't do the verses and playing at the same time. I just can't.
That one I got pretty quick.
Did you?
Satellite, I would say, is the other.
Oh
really
yeah,
hard
Satellite's a tough one.
So the Stone is kind of like a satellite. It's like Satellite on steroids.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
All right.
ridiculous.
Yep.
Or Rhyme and Reason. There's so many of them that you're like, how did you come up with this? and theoretically, it does make sense. He's playing triads, but they're all these weird triads that like Mel Baybrook is explaining to you. Like,
right, exactly.
There's like, just find the pitches, and I bet if you ask him, he's like, I have no idea what I'm playing.
Yeah.
Like,
I think I heard that riff came from like a warm up thing that he used to do. It was like a practice.
Well, Mayer said that for Edge of Desire.
Edge of Desire, yeah.
Which that is also a very hard.
I thought I heard maybe the same story with Dave Matthews.
It wouldn't
maybe
surprise
I'm wrong.
me.
Maybe
it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So now let's talk a little bit about your solo stuff. So it is very different than the Cosmic Jerry type stuff.
Yes.
Okay. So let's go into that. What does that? What genre? Not to box you in, but like how would you describe your solo stuff?
That is a very hard question to answer right now.
I've listened to it, by the way, and I really dig it. I've listened to your songs on Apple Music and stuff. It's great.
It's kind of it's been a struggle for identity because I think like I want the John Mayer thing because I love playing guitar, but I also have a lot of bands that I'm obsessed with that I'm trying to kind of find my way, which I love because it is hard to generalize.
Yeah.
So even right now, like the two or three that I've been writing recently, they're like completely different island. Like
nice.
my bass player was like, Ty, you've gone straight folk, dude. Like you're going from like this 1975 like John Mayer thing to like Fleet Foxes and Bon Iver, and it's like I don't know, it's just what I'm writing,
comes
And
out.
yeah, so it's basically just me,
Okay,
and I
cool.
just kind of write what I write, and I'm trying to get this new metaphorical thing to kind of push into a jam world.
Okay.
Because I think that entry point, it just makes a lot more sense than like trying to go viral on TikTok.
Okay.
I just can't do it.
No, I've not that I've really tried to.
I
go
have
viral.
one. My girlfriend manages for me, and she's been doing certain things, but I just can't.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to do like guitar lessons on YouTube and stuff, like to try. It's exhausting. It's just exhausting to try to keep up with it and all that stuff.
It's another job.
Yeah. It is.
And it's also like you're chasing this this thing that could either A, never happen at all, or B, be so fleeting that you can't actually build on it.
Right. Yep.
It's like it's like those steps in a Mario game where like they like go and then they disappear. You're like, if I'm not jumping on the next one, I'm not going anywhere.
Right. Exactly. Yep. Yeah. And you never know. The whole thing could change in 5 years and
5 years, 5 months.
5 months. Right. Exactly. Yeah. It just could all go away. Something new could come along that gets everybody's attention. So.
Well, and I think that's kind of what I've been watching with, I look at the Dave Matthews and the John Mayers and the Jack Johnsons where I'm like, these guys have been going for a really long time, especially Dave fans. Like these people sell these venues out still.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm like, there's something, it's almost like what they did is the real estate of the music industry where everyone else is their Bitcoin and they're, doing all these things where they're like, I can get a little bit off of this, but then I'm eventually going to crash. These guys are like, I got real estate, dude. I got condos up and down. And they're building, and it's
condos
beautiful.
on Boardwalk and Park Place.
And those people know every song they've ever written. They buy the new record, buy the new record, download the new record.
Yeah.
They buy the merch. They're obsessed with it. And I'm like, that's kind of where, even if it's not as big as them, I would rather know that I have real estate than invest in some currency that might be gone in 6 months.
It's a really good point. I don't think I've ever really thought about that. Like, those groups, yes, they've been around for a long, long time, but like you look at Dave Matthews, it's like he never stops touring. It's like every year he's out, and I don't know how many shows he does a month, but it's not like he's got more than maybe 3 or 4 days off in a row.
No, they work.
Yeah. So he sells out every single one of them.
Well, and then compared to the Grateful Dead, where when the Deadhead or somebody that's never listened to the Dead asks me what to listen to, I'm like, I'm not going to give them, Working Man's Dead or something like that. I'm going to give them Live in Europe 72 because I'm like, this is the thing that got people into the Dead a lot more than listening to the records. The records are great, but it's like Dave's the same way. Like I think with Dave, I always tell people Live in Central Park. I'm like, if you don't like that, you don't like Dave Matthews, and that's fine. But
I know it's not Dave Matthews Band, but one of my favorite albums from his is the Live at Luther College, the Dave Matthews, Tim Reynolds. It's just those two.
I don't think I've heard that one. I've heard a couple from the Radio City.
Okay,
with him and Tim.
Yeah, Live at Luther might be the first one of those two
like
playing
the Farm Aid kind of thing.
Yeah, Live at Luther College. It's amazing. Yep. But anyway,
but yeah, that's kind of where this band, it's hard because, this is my full-time job, so I'm working a lot. My bass player is a sound technician at the Hard Rock down in AC.
Okay, what's his name? Let's go through the band.
Matt Helblum. He's been my right hand for, the last 7 years. He is the one member of the band that we've had fill-in drummers, we've had no guitar player or fill-in guitar player. If Matt's not on the gig, probably not doing the gig.
Okay,
because he just does something that just fills space the way that no one else has.
Nice.
We got Greg Warren, who we just recently added on guitar, which took a really, really long time to find a guitar player that understands that there are not just two roles as a guitar player.
Yeah, explain that to me.
So I came up as a guitar player in the big mega churches, where the music is very, 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 very well produced and layered and so I came up with the guitar is more of a layered instrument than it is just chunk, chunk, chunk or solo, right? There's no solos in worship. And so when I play guitar, when I write especially, I'm like, I want a guitar player that's not just soloing all over everything, but not just playing chords. There's this whole world in between where you could be playing all the stuff that kind of fills the space.
And I don't really, full disclosure, I don't really understand that. I hear what you're saying.
It's a hard thing to get because every other genre of music, even if you listen to I think a lot of early worship came from U2. They basically took U2 songs and added Jesus to them. It's not a lie. There's a couple of them. There's one in particular that it's the... I will run.
I still haven't found.
Yeah. There's a worship song. I cannot remember the words, but they literally. I thought that U2 stole it from them.
Oh, really?
Because I'd never heard the U2 song, but I was like, that sounds a lot like this worship song that I heard.
That's great.
But the guitar, at least in that, Edge's guitar is the only guitar. But and they have two electric guitar players. Neither of them are really playing chords. They're playing triads with a lot of reverb and delay and filling space.
Yep.
So I needed a guitar player that was I don't need a lead guitar player. But I also don't need a rhythm guitar player. Right. I need someone that we can go back and forth. We can listen to each other and ebb and flow. And this dude is unbelievable.
That's cool. That's very cool.
He's got a really, really good atmospheric quality to his playing.
Okay. What would you say, before we talk about the drummer, what would you say is the reason why you went from a trio? Because when I saw you, you were a trio.
Lack of finding a guitar player.
Oh, really? Yeah. You've always kind of wanted a second guitar player?
My music was not written for a trio. I had very, very few songs. So Mayer is a good comparison where there were songs that he would not play with the trio because he's like, you can't do it. It's missing layers that need to be there.
Yep.
And so there were a lot of songs of mine that I was not playing live. Because I was like, this just, and my parents and my friends would get mad because they're like, no one's going to notice. I'm like, but I notice and it matters. And so when I found him, we started adding these songs. Yeah, so the trio was basically just because I couldn't find anybody that made sense. And actually my drummer for the longest time was my other guitar player.
Oh, okay.
Until we kind of figured out, he's like, dude, no. And he was a really good drummer, and my drummer was being a pain in the butt. So we swapped out, and he started playing drums for us.
Okay, nice. What's his name? Who's your current drummer?
My current drummer is not that guy. So that guy, we just had a issue with that. But
all right.
So my current drummer is the newest member of the band, Anthony Matheson. He actually contacted me on Instagram about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. Hey, man, I'm from the Ukraine. I'm coming in, and I'm looking for work, and I like your music. I was like, well, I have a drummer right now, but I'll let you know. Yep. And then a year later, I think we just kind of had a shift as a band. And I was like, hey, man, looking for a drummer.
Nice.
This dude came in and we had a rehearsal. It wasn't even a rehearsal. It was more just making sure that this worked, an audition for all of us, not just him.
Right.
And he knew my songs better than I did.
Oh, wow.
He took those tracks and he charted them. I was like, shit, I gotta relearn. Because I'm very it's the jam thing where it's it's not going to be the same thing all the time. And it's taken him a couple rehearsals to be like, we don't need a click track. Trust me, we all have a good time.
Right.
Yes, the solo is probably going to go a little longer than you think it is. Even when we were learning a bunch of Dave for this wedding and he's like, well, the Central Park version, I don't know if I can do, but like the original, I'm like, we're going to get into rehearsal and have our own version. We're not going to, I'm not Dave Matthews.
You just got to feel it. Yep.
Exactly. The way that the jam, or the way that I think, not even jam, like the thing I admire about like John Mayer's songwriting or Dave Matthews is it's built in like modules to kind of transition you into the next part of the song. So like you have the intro, you have the verse, the chorus, then you go to this section that you can do whatever you want to do with it.
Okay.
You're out, you're in space, you're doing whatever. And then there's some kind of signal that brings you back.
Okay, yeah.
You know, and the Dead did that all the time. Like they'd be in the middle of the thing that you think that no one has any idea what's going on, but Jerry will play one lick and that's him going, hey, wrap it up, let's go. And I love that because you can make the song long, you can make the song 3 minutes, you know, and so he's getting used to that.
Okay.
And it's funny, I think we were playing our first actual show together and I turned to him because he was still on the click thing and I was like, all right, give me the click. He's like, I think you got it. I'm like,
nice.
We got you, buddy. We got you. Nice. And then we actually have another member right now, my buddy Tommy Allen, beautiful tenor voice. So he plays congas, a little bit of guitar.
Oh, cool.
And two other female backup singers, Sam Lobach and Jana. She goes by JK Sings. I can't remember her last name.
All right, JK Sings.
We actually did our last 2 shows with just me and the 2 female singers.
I think I saw that on Instagram. Yeah.
I think I was more happy than the people in the audience. I was like, this is amazing. Like when you come into the chorus and even with the band behind you, when you come into the chorus and you have this like couch of vocals that you can sit on,
that's fantastic.
Awesome.
So, okay, so let's get a little bit into your background. You said you came here when you were 19. Are you from Puerto Rico, I think?
I'm from Fort Collins, Colorado.
Oh, all right.
My family's...
We'll edit that out.
No. I was actually just in Puerto Rico.
Well, that's so, okay. So that's where I'm getting.
And people there thought I was like
okay.
I disappointed so many bartenders when I walk up and they're like, "Hold up," blah, 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 and I'm like, "Hi, how are you?" And they're like, "Ah."
Well, yeah, no, that's what I was deducting, right? Because I saw the Instagram post. I think you played a gig in Puerto Rico.
I did a week in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, and then you had a post saying how you just got back from Puerto Rico, something like that. And then in our conversation now, you said you got here when you were 19. So I figured.
So I'm from Fort Collins, Colorado. My dad is a retired major in the Army, so I moved. Okay. I've lived all over the place. If you want a list of places not to live, call me up.
Okay.
That's some pretty rough ones. But yeah, I came. So we ended up back in Colorado for my last couple of years of high school, and I was actually supposed to be in the church, and that whole thing went south. So my dad was like, "Hey, let's look at colleges. Audition for because Berklee College of Music, they're semester based.
Oh, sweet.
So he was like, audition for Berklee. If you don't make it, we'll audition for all these other colleges come the next year. I got in. I started January of 2015, so I moved to Boston for college.
Okay.
My family, so when you get to that rank in the Army, they give you a list from 1 to 100, and you put them in order. And they're like, we'll try to send you to the place you want to be.
Right.
And I think number 3 on the list was, let's get as close to tie as we can without being uncomfortable, because there was a couple spots that were pretty bad.
Sure.
But they ended up in Jersey.
Okay.
And fell in love with the place.
Fort Dix or?
Yeah, Fort Dix.
Okay.
Lakehurst and Dix. And then my dad retired. He teaches JROTC at Central Regional, actually.
Oh, cool.
But I started playing gigs. I think it was my first summer, and I think second summer when I found I couldn't afford to go back to Berklee.
Okay.
I was like,
you're not the first person to say that on this podcast.
Literally everybody. The joke is you make it if you don't graduate. It's like a going gag because there's a lot of people that I've learned now that it's a lot less people that actually went to the school. They went to they have the summer programs and stuff.
Oh, really? Okay.
So like James Valentine from Maroon 5 and Nora Jones and Imagine Dragons. Like, but yeah, so I didn't go back. I just started playing gigs, and I was blown away that within about 2 years I was able to not work a day job.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's why I'm here. People ask me, they're like, why are you from Colorado? Why the hell are you here? And I'm like, because I can't make this kind of money in Colorado.
Yeah. It's a good scene for sure. I mean, you've got Philly, you've got New York, plenty of places to play.
And even just like the LBI area, the girl I talked about earlier that I dated when I first got here, I remember she went to some camp and she's like, none of these guys like play any shows. I said, you don't understand how spoiled you are. like being able to get on a stage every day, and not only that, get paid for it.
Right.
You don't get that anywhere else. Like even if you go to Nashville, New Orleans, these guys are playing for tips.
Yeah. I've heard that about Nashville. I don't know about New Orleans.
New Orleans had a saying when I was down there. I got up with a couple bands. They said, if you like the band, tip the band.
Okay.
If you don't like the band, tip the band. Because they know. They're like, we're not making any. And these are like 8-piece bands of amazing players.
Right.
Making nothing. They said, come down, bring a guitar. and we'll get you up every night. I said, come up here, I'll get you paid.
Yeah, right.
Because I'd take that band, we would destroy everybody up here.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Yeah.
Yep. I have a friend that lives in Florida, and he was on the podcast. We're talking about gigs and stuff like that, and not to talk necessarily about money, but we had a conversation off of the podcast about like, oh yeah, well I make this here and that. And he was like, you make how much for 3 hours? Like, it's like they get paid half down in Florida because there's so many more bars and bands.
Florida too, though, it's a cost of living thing too.
Oh,
like, it's cheaper to live in Florida than it is to live in
that's
basically
true.
what I've learned from traveling is it is cheaper to live, unless you want to live at Disney World, it's cheaper pretty much anywhere. I was in Austin last week, and like we went out to the bar and got like 2 drinks each and some food, and it was like $50. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I was like, the drinks alone would have cost us $100 in Jersey,
right?
man.
Yep.
But it's this weird area where like, and even when COVID hit, and even after it, like, I look at my calendar and I'm like, because as an artist, you're always looking forward, like, okay, let's hope. And I've listened to celebrities talk about that, where they're like, oh, what if I never get called again?
Right.
And every 6 months, the calls start coming in.
That's awesome.
And and the money thing too. It's like, if you go to Florida or wherever, like I think it was even my buddy was in Nashville, and he's like, the amount that I was getting paid solo in Jersey, that was what the band was making for 4 hours.
That's crazy.
So it was like, say, $200. I mean, for a 4-piece band, that's $25 a person for 4 hours. That's insanity.
Yeah, dude. You can't
make a living doing that. You're waiting tables afterwards. Like,
right, exactly. Yep. I mean, I work a full-time job, my Monday through Friday, but because music it's not my full-time gig, obviously, but I love it, and for a second job, I'm making pretty good money for a second job.
I have a friend on the island that he is a retired police officer, and he's also on the Board of Ed.
Yep.
And he plays, I would say he rivals me in how many gigs he
Oh,
does.
really?
And I'm like, dude,
Wow.
you were just, it's ridiculous. He's like, I don't know if I could afford this new amp. I'm like, I think you can. I think you got it. And it's a tax write-off because you're making all this money from freaking
That's
play.
right. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit. Oh, wait, I did want to get back to... I want to talk about Berkeley and then the church thing, right? Because I've had other worship musicians on here, or former worship musicians. So anyway, Berkeley, I converse with Tomo Fujita every now and then.
Tomo, yeah.
Again, because I'm a John Mayer fan. That's how I discovered who Tomo was.
Tomo became famous because of John Mayer.
Yeah, exactly.
And don't get me wrong, he was famous.
Yeah.
In the guitar world,
right?
But like I had a lot of friends. I purposely did not try to get.
Oh, you didn't?
Tomo.
Oh,
no.
okay. That was going to be my question. Did you ever play with him, or did you meet him, or anything?
When I went in, and I was there for a year and a half, and I really kind of flew under the radar.
Okay.
I will say this, and this is not. I'm not being self-effacing, I think is the word. I was not a good guitar player when I went to Berkeley.
Okay.
I was not. I was
All right.
terrible.
Yep.
Just terrible. I asked my teacher, I was like, do you do auditions and stuff? And she's like, yeah. I said, why am I here? And I was dead serious. I was not asking for a compliment because I'm good at what I do, but every guitar player was learning the neck and, reading on the neck. I was playing, I played drums. I wasn't allowed to touch a guitar till I played piano.
Okay.
So I was doing all these other things, and I was more interested in the song. Like I was in high school, people think, the John Mayer thing, Coldplay was my band.
Oh, wow.
When I was in high school. Coldplay and One Republic. I wanted to be Chris Martin from Coldplay.
Nice.
So if you found me at high school, I was probably on a piano more than I was on a guitar.
Okay.
And so, all of them were getting better guitar. I was not.
Right.
And so I went to Berkeley, and I remember in the audition, the guy was like, can you show me every G on the neck or something? And I was like, no. Can you sight read this for me on the guitar? I was like, I could do it on that. Or I can sing it to you, but I can't do it on guitar.
Okay.
And I have just recently gotten to the point where I can feel like I'm a good guitar player.
Okay.
So Berkeley for me, a lot was just trying to, it was just realizing that you're not as good as you think you are, which I think is a lesson that everybody needs.
Sure, absolutely.
Because I remember coming and watching these people, and I was like, why are you even here? Like, you could be teaching the teacher.
You've done it already. You know how to play.
And a lot of them, though, they're looking for connections.
Okay.
Now, the other thing I think I learned, and I've even learned this recently watching guitar players, it's not about technicality. Only certain people are going to recognize that you are technically good. There are things I do on a guitar, people are like, that's amazing. And I'm like, if you were a guitar player, you know it's not. It's the vision that you have, your ability to listen to what's going on and create. And I think some of the best songwriters, producers in the world, they have musical talent for sure, but it's not the thing that's making them understand that.
Rick Rubin.
Well, we could go on a whole
here we go.
Right about Rick Rubin. I both love and hate Rick Rubin.
Well,
there's a difference between I'm not very proficient and I didn't even bother to learn any of this shit. I'm sorry, I don't know if I curse on this podcast.
No, you can.
That angers me. It angers me as someone that like looks up to like Quincy Jones, where it's like that guy could play multiple instruments, could write it all out by hand for you. He could record it. He could do all these things.
Yep.
And it's like, and so you make it big, and you're just like, yep, I'm just gonna not learn anything.
Right.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me.
I'm just gonna tell people to try again.
Yeah. I'm gonna take an artist that's already famous and then pretend like I discovered them. Like I don't. And I've listened to his podcast with a couple people, and I admire his spiritual approach to music to an extent.
Yeah.
But I also do believe that it's like you're kind of spitting in the face of all the people that have done the time.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
The comparison to me is like the person that comes up, they play a show, and they basically do karaoke.
Okay. Yep.
And I'm like, so I spent years mastering a craft so that I could do a job in 2 hours and make more money than someone that's working, a 9 to 5.
Right.
You did nothing, literally nothing, and you're making that money. That angers me.
Sure.
I'm sorry, it angers me, and I'm not, throwing shade at anybody. Do what you do, but it's that approach. But I think that being able to listen and I mean, I get called for studio work all the time where people are like, oh yeah, throw guitar on this or whatever, and I'm playing, and they're like, that's it? That's all you're gonna do? I'm like, that's all a song needs.
Right,
I don't need to shred here.
Yeah,
if anything, I have to be told to shred.
Right,
I literally did one recently where the guy was like, I want something a little more.
Yeah.
Let the bear out of the cage. It's fine. Nice. I'm like, okay, but I don't know if it's gonna sound good, And so when I learned that, I was like, okay, so I still have something special, even though I'm not,
yeah, that's
crazy.
great.
Because John Mayer, like when he went to Berkeley, he was already insanely good.
Yeah.
Like I think I had a teacher when I was there that he was like, oh, I remember him. He's like, he was not meant to be here.
Really?
Like he's
Wow.
like he was good when he got
Yeah, he
here.
was only there for what, like one semester or
two semesters.
Two semesters?
So
Yeah,
I was there for 3.
Okay,
And then my dad's GI Bill ran out, and I just couldn't. Like,
oh, okay.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
You look at the amount of money that you're spending for a job that you'd never need a real degree for.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
insanity.
yeah. No, a previous guest of mine, his name's Aaron Shreve. I don't want to call him an Instagram guitarist, but he's out in. He's both in Boston and LA, and he does a lot of session work. He's basically a session guitarist.
But he's actually making a living.
Yeah,
he's not just sitting alone in a room.
Right, exactly.
Videos,
yeah, I mean he's got a ton, like a huge following. But yeah, he's making records and filling in for people on stage and whatnot. And he went to Berkeley, but it was only one semester because he's like, I couldn't afford it anymore. Like one semester was it.
It's a school that's really done a good job of making it very clear that now is not the time for like. It used to be. We want this was what attracted me to it because I moved a lot. I never got to be I was a better musician than everyone at all 4 of the high schools I went to, but I never got to show it because I was never there long enough. The teacher's like, look, you're better than everyone I have here, but you're going to be gone in 2 months. I can't rely on you.
Oh, that sucks.
So I never really got to do that. And so what I loved about Berkeley was they weren't going, well, what's your pedigree? Like, what stupid, ridiculous awards did you win in high school? I was like, nothing. I got nothing. I'm good at what I do. That's all I got.
Right.
And they were like, we don't care. You need to graduate. Are you good and do I like you?
Wow.
And the thing that I learned after Berkeley from my buddy Chris, who is actually my mom's high school best friend from CSU or from Colorado, owns a studio in Brooklyn.
Yep.
And I went and I was working as an intern with him for a little bit, just kind of learning mics and stuff. And I was like, should I go back? And he goes, look, I have a degree in music. The only job I ever got was a teaching job.
Oh, okay.
Everything else, are you good? Do I like you?
Right.
That's it.
And do I like you is
almost more important.
Yeah,
sadly.
yeah. I've had plenty of conversations, especially with the most recent episode. I don't know if you know the band, The Record Company. They had a couple of songs out. They're on tour right now. Anyway, I interviewed the lead singer and just released it last week, I think. Anyway, Chris Voss, and they're out there doing it. I mean, they opened for John Mayer, right?
Nice.
They went on tour with John Mayer. So like, and the thing that keeps coming back in all these conversations is don't be a dick.
Yep.
Right. You want to be successful in music? Don't be a dick. Know your instrument, know how to play, and don't be a dick.
Know who you. I wouldn't even say that because I often am construed as a dick because I'm very opinionated. Know who you are.
Okay.
Know who you are.
Yep.
So be willing to accept the consequences for you knowing who you are.
Okay.
Because there are times.
Explain that for me.
There are times. So I think that, especially being the LBI thing, I am definitely a different color than everybody else in regards to. Man, it's all good. Like, hey, bro, the PA system's not here. Dude, it's all good. It'll all work. Yeah. I am not that person. I'm like, why didn't we ask about this before? Why wasn't this put in writing? Like, and my girlfriend's the same way. We're very, like, I think it just came from wanting to we're the people that make it happen, where the other people just ride the wave of the people that make it happen.
I see what you're saying. Yep.
And I think that sometimes that involves you being very straightforward, and often it's construed as being a dick.
Okay.
I think, but I know who I am. So I'm like, if you don't want to work with me, that's cool. I got other people that still. It'd be different if like nobody hired me and I'm pretending that I have this following that I don't or that I do. But I'm like, a lot of people seem to be okay with this, you know, and a lot of things are getting done because of this.
Yeah.
You know, I can't do the chill thing.
There's also some validity behind the fact that you can back up the stuff that you're saying, you know, that you're talking about, right? Like, it's justifiable to be like, why is the PA not here or not working or whatever? Because like, there's an expectation that you kind of have to meet when you've got the following that you do.
Right.
People are coming out to see you play, and you know, I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with this conversation, but the fact that you can back it up is what
it's confidence in yourself and the product, you know, and it's like, I think that's why I've been so, with the band and everything like that. I'm very picky. I'm not just going to throw us out.
Right.
You know, and like Cosmic, I've had to do this with Cosmic too, because I think they come from that, again, that it's cool, bro. Like, I know we only have one microphone and the amp's broken, but we're going to make the show happen. And I kind of came into it with like, no, like if we're going to do this, I want to do it right. And I want to be up there. And I remember telling them that from the beginning. I was like, look, my only trajectory is up. So if this band's just going to do this, I'll still play, but know that when things start taking off, I have to let you go. Because I don't have time. You know, there's only so much time. And I think that you have to have a certain amount of drive and understanding. That's the other thing too, is I think a lot of people, when they plan events and stuff like that, they don't understand how much goes into these things. They don't understand that it's not just the band shows up and they start playing. Right. You know, there's all kinds of. I've done so many benefits where they have like a lineup. They're like, so the first band's starting at 7, second band's starting at 8, and I'm like, okay, so when are they going to change over all this stuff? Right. What do you mean? Well, like all those people have to walk off the stage. And other people have to
plug it back in, all that stuff.
And they're like, I never would have thought of that. And it's people like me and my girlfriend who does my management that like, I mean, God, if you ever get a contract, or not contract, but an email from my management, they're like, okay, so you want to have a beach wedding. Is there power on the beach? No? All right, well, you got to figure that out because I'm not doing that. How long? What's the travel? Like all these things that nobody, they just see this image and they don't understand that there were paints that had to be bought and canvas had to be bought in order to make this painting.
There's a lot of stuff that goes on. Not to mention the years of practice and playing and experience and all that stuff, you know, to be able to put together a good product.
And that's where, like, I think where I really got good was coming here, and it's like, oh, you get on stage, there is no trying again. You're on stage. I did back to open mics. I started at an open mic in Tuckerton at the Tuckerton Beach Grill, which is no longer a thing. And my buddy Jimmy Brogan ran it, and I had only ever been to like acoustic open mics, like very like hipster coffee shop stuff. And he had a band, and I remember I got up and I tried to figure out songs that I thought the backing band would know, and I jammed, and I was better than a lot of the people that were there. So they're like, oh my God, can you get up and play with us? And get up and play with us. So every week I would go in and get up with all these bands, and like getting up and all these songs that people assumed because I was a guitar player I knew. And I was like, I'm learning who Neil Young is. I'm learning who the Rolling Stones are. You know, because I didn't know any of these songs. I think it was my girlfriend that we started like listening to. She was so mad that I'd never listened to Pink Floyd, and we started listening to all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, that's what that is. Because I've played it a million times. I've just never actually like listened to the songs.
That's great.
Because, you know, that's one thing you get from Berkeley is you get this certain psychic ability. You can break down the song, and you're like, every song is chords and chords and melody. So that's what people are like, oh, it's like you know every song. I'm like, no, I just one of those tricks that only a guitar player but all the songs are four chords.
Yeah, you know, and you know the 4 chords coming. You know what key it's in.
You know,
like,
you
stuff
can
like
hang
that,
on the
right?
one on a triad.
If
something gets weird, you know, you back out.
That's why I don't know if you watch Rick Beato on YouTube. He does the same. He'll list like the top 10 Spotify pop songs or whatever, and he'll listen for the first time, and within seconds he's able to like play along with them because he knows, oh, okay, well this is an A minor and it sounds like it's a 1-4-5 progression, and he just goes.
And you forget that vernacular. Like I've had that happen to me too, because I'm in the world of people that were probably self-taught, didn't really, especially with guitar. It's such an easy instrument to know a lot about but know nothing. If that makes sense. Like even me, like when I'm playing a solo, if someone was like, break that note for note, I'd be like, give me a minute. I wouldn't be able to do it. But like you forget that not everyone knows that vernacular. So I think that there was some argument. I was with a band, like a cover band I was playing, and we were playing some song. It was something by Spin Doctors, but there was a drum beat that he was playing wrong. Like there was a kick pattern that he kept going, whoa, this is the way it is. I got the chart. And I'm like, no, this is the way it is. I'm listening to this song. And we bet $1. And he said, I'm going to go back and check. Tomorrow I'll come back. And I have $1 signed by him that says you were right. And my buddy that was at front man of the band, he goes, I think people forget that you like went to school for this. I'm like, yeah. Because I don't talk like that. Because if I go, oh yeah, it's a 2-5-1-6 in A minor.
Yep.
And then it's going to go to the 4. Like, they're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. You got to put chords down for me, dude.
Yep.
But then you find those people and you're like, oh, sweet. This is going to be way easier.
Yeah.
But then also you intellectualize it. So like there are certain Berklee people that, especially the people that graduated, they overthink something that doesn't need to be overthought. Pop music is pop music, right?
Yep.
You don't need to try to figure out all these ridiculous like voicings and concepts for what something that is so simple is.
Yep.
And I think a lot of time that hurts you.
Right.
Because you're overthinking and you know that the simple thing is going to be the answer.
Yeah, very true.
Even my writing right now, my last 2 songs, it's like I'm deconstructing chords where I'm like, I don't even need anything crazy here. I'm writing with like a C and an F.
Right.
And most people will be like, but this guy can like do all this. I'm like, yeah, but the song needs this.
Yeah.
It doesn't need me to go. Blah, blah, blah,
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people, I mean, I don't want to say a lot of people. I don't want to generalize, but there are folks out there that just, okay, well, what's like the most cool, creative thing I can play in this part where you don't need to? That's not what the song calls for.
If it's not good for the song, it's not good for you.
Yep, exactly.
That's a life thing with everything. If it's not good for everyone, it's probably like I'm a big basketball guy now. I'm a Nuggets fan, and I watch the team and I watch these guys like run up the middle and try to dunk, and they always fail. And I'm like, if it's not good for the team, sometimes you need to do that. Sometimes, but if it's not good for the team, then it's not good for you either. You still lose.
Right,
you know?
right, exactly.
Yeah, and I think the simplicity in listening to a recording and going, this doesn't need me. Or this doesn't need drums.
Yep.
You know?
And that's a hard thing for me to get out of personally because I grew up in the era of 80s hair bands and thrash metal where it was like, let's try to squeeze as many notes in as possible. So that's kind of where I learned to play guitar. Like I used to know pretty much note for note every Metallica song there was. And then, you know, once I kind of discovered John Mayer and the blues, and I did that whole thing.
Blues is all about less.
Yeah, it was all. Yeah, I forget who said it or where I heard it, but it was like it's not so much. It might have been Quincy Jones. It's not so much the notes that you play; it's the notes that you don't.
That's Miles.
Is it Miles?
Sure that's Miles.
Okay.
Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure that's Miles.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that like that was what I learned as a John Mayer fan, coming back to the records that I got into when I was a kid. The 2 artists that I can say do a really good job, I think Metallica does a good job of this too, but the 2 artists I can think of that do a really good job of this are Prince and Michael Jackson. Listen to Billie Jean. There's like 3 things going on in that song.
I play it as a cover.
That's it. There's nothing crazy going on. And that means that anything else that enters the atmosphere of the song, you're like, whoa, what's that? Oh, there's a guitar part. But then the guitar player's gone. It's back down to the 3 things.
Right.
And these guys were magicians at being able to have everything going on, but nothing going on at all. Like Prince's records are my favorite because they're orchestral. It's like you've got this bass and drum line here, and then he's opened this canvas that he can do whatever he wants.
Right.
And it's going to sound weird, and then you'll hear it once, and it'll go away.
Yeah.
He's like, but it's not necessary.
Right.
But then I also go to like 1975 and Coldplay, where they're like, all this crazy crap going on, and it's still beautiful, but there's something about negative space that go listen to Continuum.
Oh yeah.
And like Gravity. It's like bass, drums, guitar. That's it.
I love it.
There's really nothing else going on until the end.
Yeah.
And you don't think about it. Even guitar wise, like I remember I used to think that he was using all these crazy pedals and stuff. I'm like, almost all the solos in this, you can tell he's just got an overdrive pedal and a like a bandmaster maybe.
Right.
And that's it.
Yep. It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy that you're like, how did he go into this multi-million-dollar studio and go, but that's all it needs.
Right.
That's all it needs. It doesn't need anything else.
It's fantastic.
That's musical maturity. That's not musical. That's not technical maturity. That's musical maturity and going, all this needs is da 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 da. That's it. That's all it needs. Nothing else.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your writing process, right? When you're in the studio, how does a song kind of come out? Where does it start? Where does it end? And I know it's probably different for every song, but
I'm trying to find a way to regularize it.
Okay.
So I have been riding the wave of I have a lot of songs that I've written that are played live, but I have not released.
Okay.
And so that's what I'm trying to do now is I feel like it's kind of my crutch where I'm like, well, I got all these others. I got all these bullets in the gun. I don't need to reload yet.
Okay.
So I haven't been writing. And also when you play as much as I do, like the last thing you want to do when you get home is pick up a guitar.
Yeah.
So a lot of that writing would just come out of boredom. I'm just sitting there with the guitar and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then you just start writing and then you get excited and then boom, there's a song. So I've been doing that for a while, but I've been trying to, because this is my job, I moved my studio to my parents' house, which is in Barnegat. It's like 20 minutes away. And I set up in a room and I go to work. That's my job.
Nice.
So in the morning I get up, I go to the gym, I come home, I go to work.
Okay.
And yeah, there's other stuff. I got to practice stuff for Cosmic. I got to do work stuff, but I want a period of time where I'm just sitting there with a guitar. And I did it recently. I was sitting there and I just picked the guitar up. I was doing something else, I think, and I just started playing this progression. I'm like, and I'm also simplifying music in my head where I'm like, it doesn't have to be this insane.
Right.
It doesn't have to be slow dancing in a burning room. I don't have to do any of that. Like it'll find itself later. Write the song first.
Yeah.
And so now, like, I'm getting to this point where I can write the song. If it feels like it has legs, I can build on it enough to show, whoever I'm working with.
Okay, gotcha.
So we're actually working right now on, I think I'm going to call it Cleaning Out the Attic, which is basically all the songs that I've had for the last 10 years. It's like 4 or 5 of them. Nice. And we're going to just get rid of them. Just throw them all out.
Okay.
Because we have people seeing the live show now that are like, oh, I'd love to listen to this song. And I'm like, well, you can't. So I'm trying to get those out. I've kind of got a system now where we can, the drummer we used on our last recording, Zach Jones, he's amazing. And he's like, hey, send me stuff. I'll put drums on it, and then you guys can build a track.
That's awesome.
And then I have, I think, 3 new ones that are very different. One of them, I recorded the demo, and it's probably the coolest thing that I've ever recorded on my own.
Nice.
Like, I think I got the high, because normally in the studio, I love being in the studio, but I also, like, hate the plugins and the computer never works, and like I'm always I have to go to the store to buy a stupid cable for a thing that I use for one voice.
Right.
But I got the high where I was like, oh, I can make that guitar sound here, and I got it. Oh, I don't have a big concert kick, but I have a floor tom, and so I mic the floor tom and I hit the floor tom and then I EQ it so it sounds like this. I'm like, even if it's not the final product, I can give this to my drummer and go, that's what I want.
That's cool. Yeah.
And I was like in tears. I'm literally like, oh, this is it. This is the thing. If I could just keep doing this forever,
man.
So that's kind of where I've been now, but I'm trying to make it so that even if the idea might not be good, I'm at least throwing some stuff at the wall. And I feel like when I go home, I can go, well, I tried today. Okay. I didn't catch it, but I tried.
Yeah. All right.
So that's kind of my songwriting.
That's awesome. Yeah. No, I love it. Okay, and we don't have to go into a whole lot of detail. We can go into as much as you want, but the worship thing, right? Like you said, you didn't really know who like Pink Floyd was and all that stuff.
So my window into secular music was John Mayer. Okay. So I was studying under Dr. Wayne Goins. He was the head of jazz studies at K-State University. I was living in Manhattan, Kansas.
Okay.
And I came in this little dumb John Mayer because I had the long hair, and this was right about the time that I started accepting and caring. Like I was told I looked like John Mayer when I was like 8.
Okay, you do kind of look like him.
I've been getting it every day forever. Like I've made so much money. I owe him royalties. I swear to God. We just did a thing at the Prudential Center, and my girlfriend put it up on TikTok. It was a video of me playing, and she said most of the comments were, I didn't know John Mayer was at the Prudential Center. But when I was a little kid, my uncle was like, you look like this new kid that's coming up or whatever. I was like 8. I was like, I don't care. Where are the Legos,
Right.
Then I started, figuring that out. And so he was like, well, you don't know who John Mayer is if you don't know who Stevie Ray Vaughan is. If you don't know who Jimi Hendrix is. If you don't know who B.B. King is. Albert King, Freddie King. So I started digging into all these blues cats that I knew from John Mayer, where like even that the trio, the thing that got me into guitar, because I was a drummer, was that trio section of Where the Light Is.
Oh, yeah.
Where I'm trying to play to Steve Jordan, which of course I'm not, because it's Steve Jordan.
Yep.
And I'm like, I kind of want to play the guitar on this. This is way cooler. And so I learned that like half that set's not his music.
Right.
Wait Till Tomorrow and Bold as Love.
Yep.
And even Every Day I Have the Blues, like it's his version of it, but it's still, that's B.B. King tune. So that was my window into secular music. And then Guitar Hero 2 and 3. Okay. So like people get very mad that I played like the solo from Freebird, and they're like, how did you know? I'm like, I played it on Guitar Hero at some point. I don't know. Again, but a guitar player, we go, it's not that hard of a solo.
Right.
But the worship thing, it was like, so I was in a New Life Church, which is a huge, this is like, these guys, you ever heard of Hillsong? Hillsong Church, it's in Australia.
I think so.
So like almost every modern worship song was written by Hillsong.
Oh, okay. All right. Is that me or you? Oh, shit, that's my phone.
All good.
All right, anyway, go ahead.
Hillsong, New Life, Bethel. So these are the 3 big guys that they're writing all the music. They're nationally touring bands.
Yep.
I was playing on a big stage, all in-ear monitors, like basically as big as modern worship could get.
Yeah, I know a lot of that. Sorry, let me just put this on silent so it doesn't have it again. All right. So I know a lot of the and I've had other worship musicians in here. The production is very big stages, lots of all that stuff.
It's very hard to believe the lie when they say that it's all about God. I remember we were rehearsing for something. It was right about the time that we had our falling out, and I said, all right, let's rehearse the show again, and then we'll go on a break. And they're like, it's not a show, it's a service. I'm like, bro, you got a light guy. I'm jumping up on the freaking bench. It's a show. So stop pretending. And by the way, if you read the book, none of this crap's in there. It's all made up. So stop pretending. It's okay. It's beautiful. We love it. But 90% of the stuff these churches are doing, it's all made up.
Right.
It's all made up. Yeah. And it was designed to get people interested in the church. We've been doing it forever, literally. The idea of a church service was supposed to be the father of the household reads from the Bible to his family and maybe another family.
Right.
So the idea of a building, the idea of a children's service, the idea of a youth group, all of it's made up. But that, I think, really taught me, because there is no soloing, in worship music. It's more about building that atmosphere. And so I think my concept of drums really came from that, where it didn't have to be a rock beat. A lot of it was 4 on the floor, slow, 4 on the floor kick, but it was very layered.
Okay.
And it was built almost kind of like a jam song, where it was built to be dynamically shifted.
Okay.
Right? So you'd sing the same chorus 30 times, but you'd have one where it's just the drums, and then you'd have one where it's just the vocals.
Right.
And you also have this high that I realized is not strictly because of the spiritual aspect of it, because I've gotten that high on a stage in front of people playing my music.
Yeah, sure.
That where everybody's singing the same stuff, and you feel this heat, this energy from everybody in the room, all focused on the same thing. And it was beautiful. It's cool. And you get to kind of learn how to talk to a band. I remember they were doing classes on how to communicate with a band, and I'm listening to these guys talk, and I'm like, that's not how you tell a drummer to drum. Well, I need snare on the 2 and the 4 and hi-hats on that. And I'm like, nobody talks to a drummer like that. Right. Nobody. The drummer will roll his eyes and walk out of the room.
Right.
You walk up and you go, yo, I'm going to start playing. And then he'll do it, and I'm like, but I'm looking more for a
right.
Kinda
you got to mimic it.
Put it out. I've played songs where the guy thought it was we do this version of Beast of Burden that Beast of Burden's doom, don't, right? But ours kind of sounds like Wait Till Tomorrow. So he's doom, da, 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 so the drums are going do do da do da do da.
Right.
And the minute I did that, the drummer's like, oh, yep, got it.
I got it.
Yeah.
That's
and it's
cool.
funny that you learn that stuff, though, from being with a band. That's something that I
right.
think that a new generation is losing, because they just don't have the opportunities to get with other musicians.
That's very true. Everybody's at home on their phones,
I don't even think it's that. I think it's where do they go? Where are they going to go to play? Yeah, here we have open mics and all these things going on, but I've lived in 5 different states. I don't remember ever going to. I went to an open mic once, and it was a coffee shop. It was not the kind of place where you would get up and play with somebody.
Right,
else.
I see. Yeah,
and it wasn't until I think the end of high school I found some people that we could start really jamming, and that was it.
That's crazy.
We're kind of getting rid of those, because especially now all those open mics, it's oh, you're not 21.
Oh yeah.
Get out of here.
Yep. That's true.
But yeah, the church thing. I think I got a lot from that, and I still love that music. I'll listen back to a Hillsong track and be like, it's still a really good track. Whoever's doing their production. Killing it.
That's great.
The Jesus stuff gets a little repetitive now, and it's crazy that I didn't recognize it before, where I was like, this writing is really repetitive. But it's not designed. I remember talking to one of the guys that wrote the music for New Life, and he was like, but it's not designed to be a pop chart hit.
Yeah.
It's designed for people to be able to sing it, for the lyrics to be quick to memorize. So there is a science to what they're doing.
Sure. Yeah, it's all intentional, I guess, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Stop pretending. I remember when it's the same thing I figured out with doing weddings, where I watch so many movies where there's this, it's all magical and everything has to be perfect. And I've done enough weddings, I'm like, it's not like this at all.
Oh yeah, it's all
at least 10
choreographed.
things go wrong every time. I was just the best man at my best friend's wedding, and they were worried about weather, and I was like, don't worry, this venue they have a solution for everything.
Yeah,
I promise.
yep.
Just watch. And it rained, and they moved everybody in, and they had umbrellas, and they set up the pictures differently, and I was like, they've prepped for everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, that's funny. So. All right. Before we get to the performance, anything else you wanted to talk about, bring up, anything at all? I don't.
I mean, I've done more than enough. I purposely didn't drink coffee. So the last podcast I was on, I came in, I was a little hungover, and then I drank coffee to compensate, and I was So they're like, hey, what do you think? And I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And I remember asking, I was like, I hope I didn't say too much. They're like, dude, we usually have to pull answers out of
Yeah,
people.
no,
So
it's
he's
great.
Like, You're all good.
Yeah, you made my job easy for sure. That's great. That's awesome. Okay, so what songs are you going to sing for us?
Oh, I've been thinking about this. So I'm probably going to do Still Breathing, which is my latest single. I guess it almost hit 10,000 views on,
nice.
Or not views, listens on Spotify.
Awesome.
Which, that is a cookie I would really like to figure out how to crack.
Yeah.
Like Instagram, I'm like, okay, we post videos of me playing, people start to like it. But Spotify, it's like, to get people to follow you on Spotify,
yeah.
it's a pain in the butt.
I know. I only have a handful of songs out that I've released, and I get like 3 monthly listeners.
Seriously, I mean, like, yeah, and I don't play enough shows that I'm able to get that clientele of the Spotify people.
Yeah.
And it sucks because it's all they care about.
Yeah, sure,
but,
sure.
So that one, and then I was thinking about doing a new one. I think I'm going to do a song called Crashing Down. This is the one I was telling you about that I recorded, and I remember driving to Best Buy because I didn't have the right cable for the MIDI keyboard to put the piano part in. Like, I was locked in. I was like, thank God I don't have a show tonight because until this is where I want it to be, I'm not leaving this room. So yeah.
All right, cool. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for being on the podcast, Todd.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it was fun.
All right, cool. Song's called Still Breathing.
Right in, holding on to something. I am trying not to lose my head, but I'm still breathing. Girl, this is something real. Tell me how you feel, or I will just keep holding on. So let me know it's time to let it go. I can see the way you look at me, but it ain't the same. But I'm still breathing. Hoping I was with my heart and you came. So it all apart, I know. But I'm still breathing. Girl, you got to let me in. This game you'll never win unless you just tell me the truth. So let me know it's time to let it go. I can see the way you look at me, but it ain't the same. But I'm still breathing. But I'm still breathing. Girl, this is something real. Tell me how you feel, or I will just keep holding on. So let me know it's time to let it go. I can see the way you look at me, but it ain't the same. Just let me know it's time to let it go. You are just so beautiful, but the flame is burned away. And I'm still breathing, but I'm still breathing. 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 I'm still breathing. But I'm still breathing.
Yeah, man. Nice.
Thank you.
Nice.
This one's called Crashing Down.
I see red flags dipped in green paint. Should I keep my eyes closed or just walk away? Stare at the ceiling, live with the pain. Is it over now? Can it be over now? Can it all come crashing down? Oh, ooh, oh, oh. I can't keep speaking without speaking my mind. You can't keep trying, tears in your eyes. Why keep it living if he wants to die? Put on the fake smiles, little white light. Is it over now? Can it be over now? Can it all come crashing down? Oh, ooh, oh. Is it over now? Can it be over now? Can it all come crashing down? Is it over now? Can it be over now? Can it all come crashing down? Can it all come crashing down?
Nice.
Thanks.